friends, are you ready for fun with pasta? I promised you an art project today in our newsletter because it is so very important for you to keep using your hands. We want you to have strong hands, strong fingers for your writing, drawing, coloring, all those good things in life. So I have pasta projects today. The first thing we're going to do is use regular plain old pasta. We are going to color it, but first let's just work with some regular pasta that you might have in the house, because you can do everything without coloring it. You can leave it plain and just have a ball and everything will be just fine. So I want to show you how I made my flower picture, and you'll see all I did was take a regular sheet of paper, some glue, and just plain old noodles or macaroni. Any shape you have at home or in your cupboard is fine. To make the flower, I'm going to do it just really quickly for you, but you'll see that it's really basic and you can do it without me showing you. I took marker, you can take crayon, colored pencil, anything you have to draw with, and make some grass. You would want to make your flower stem, give it some leaves. Maybe you want to make the middle of your flower. You can talk about different shapes. You can make it squiggly. You can make it perfect. You could sprinkle some little bit of glitter in there if you wanted to. Then you're going to actually use your glue to draw. And I'm just going to use my spirally noodles for this. For flower petals, I'm just going to draw them first with my glue. Now your child, when they see glue like this, they will probably tell you, dot, dot, not a lot, because they know Mrs. Fix does not like it when they take two hands and just and squeeze it all over the place. They want to be careful. You want them to use less rather than more. I tried to make some nice straight lines. You might have to help your child do that. Put your hand on top of theirs and show them how hard to squeeze and how to move the bottle. And as simple as that, you lay your pasta or your macaroni into your glue shape, and then you have to be patient and let it dry, usually overnight. Another thing that I did with the macaroni is I colored it, but I colored it with markers, which was actually easy to do. I didn't know if it would work at first, but if you don't have food coloring at home and you only have markers, this works. Now, you will get your fingers a little bit messy. Know that going into it, but it's okay. I don't think any of us are really going anywhere fancy, and it does wash off. I have my marker, and all I did, and this is actually really it's really good for fine motor. It's as hard, even for me as a grown-up, to hold this marker tight to hold this piece of macaroni tight between my fingers. And I'm just taking my marker and I'm coloring on it. You can try and color it in completely. Your child can put dots. Any kind of pasta is fine. And what I did on this one is I made butterflies. Just like the flower, I took my glue, and first I drew the shape of a butterfly with glue, and then I took the macaroni and the pasta that I colored and I put it in the butterfly shapes. And then I added a dotted line. Actually, we talk about this. Your child talks about this a lot in their picture books, motion lines. And that's what I drew here. Just little motion lines that the butterflies are flying around in the sky. Now, if you would like to do something a little more advanced, and if you're thinking, oh yes, show me how to make that beautiful colored pasta, let me show you how. I promise it's easy. I did go on Pinterest. I did get some recipes, because the only way that I knew how to color macaroni or pasta before was with using alcohol. I didn't want to use it this time because I know how precious it is to some of us. We're making hand sanitizers. We're using it to clean and sanitize our house. It's actually really hard to find in the store now because everybody's after it and using it. So I found you can do it with vinegar. I have a measuring cup and I have just the littlest bit of vinegar. Actually, it's 1/8 of a cup. I don't even have much in it at all. This is just plain white vinegar. And you can use this to help make all different kinds of colored macaroni. You don't need much. And actually, you don't need a recipe. I was going to have and put a recipe on the wall behind me because that's how I always used to do it. But I read this one yesterday and it said, just add drops. Little drops here, little drops there, and actually it worked. So what I did is I cooked some spaghetti, just regular old spaghetti. And I used the package directions. I just boiled it up, drained it, rinsed it with cold water. So this is day old, just cold spaghetti. No, I'm not going to eat it. My hands are on it. Your child isn't going to eat this one. This is for making crafts, not for eating. So this is cold spaghetti, nothing else is on it. To color it, because I didn't know that you could do pasta after it was cooked. To color spaghetti and make these really fun colors and shapes and just to play with. It's fantastic. All you need is food coloring. And this is just that regular old drops of food color that you can buy in the store. And again, that touch of vinegar. I'm not going to use all of this vinegar. I want to show you, this is, again, this is only 1/8 of a cup. It's the littlest bit. And I'm going to do two different kinds of pasta and I'll still have vinegar left. And here's I went to Kroger. I just had Kroger food coloring laying around my house. But again, if you can't color yours, that's okay. I'm going to take green just because it will show you well on camera. And this is the fun part. When you decide to do fun with pasta, I would do it in 2 days. The first day I would color it. Then you're going to need to let it dry for quite a few hours. Then the next day is when I would glue and use the colored pasta. So I'm going to put probably about 4 or 5 drops right into the baggie. Again, I'm not using a recipe. Then I'm going to take my vinegar and I'm going to pour, I want you to see how just the smallest bit, a dollop. I'm gonna close my baggie, and this is where your child will have a blast. You wanna mush it. Kind of rub it all in and massage it together. You don't want the baggie to pop, what a mess. And you don't want it to rip or pop, but you definitely want your child to be involved in this process. Again, great for the hands. Any movement, anything you can do to get their hands and muscles working is fantastic because the stronger their hands are, the easier it is for them to write. And going to kindergarten is right around the corner and they will be doing a lot of writing. And if they can write easily, they're confident and they're not afraid to do the assignments that the teachers ask. So here I am, massage, massage, massage. And then you're gonna want it to dry. So you can take a plate, newspaper, regular paper. I have a piece of wax paper here too, but you can take and dump your pasta out and then set it aside and let it dry. It'll probably take a few hours. I let mine dry overnight just to be sure. But to make quite a few different colors is a daily activity in itself. You can do your spaghetti. So here's my spaghetti colors, which are really pretty and fun. Or here's a way that you can color dry macaroni or dry noodles or pasta. And it's the exact same recipe, if you will, the exact same thing. I put some pieces of macaroni, whoopsie, into my bag. Again, your child can do this. Put a few drops. This, because there's only a couple pieces, I'm only going to use about 2 drops of food coloring. And again, I am only using the littlest bit of vinegar. Not a lot, just a drop. kind of helps get that color all moved around. And again, I'm going to rub, roll it between my hands. You can lay it on the table, really massage it in there. And again, you would want to dump it out. Here's my wax paper. I would dump this out on my wax paper and let it dry. I would dry it again overnight. So now I have, because I did mine yesterday, I have mine all ready to go. What can you do with it? Well, you can make pictures just like the flower, just like the butterfly, how I did with plain pasta, or you can take your colored pasta and make different things. You could do this with plain too. I made a picture frame. You can take the box that the pasta came in, or you can take a box, this was graham crackers. I also have cereal boxes, things that are gonna go out into the recycling. Again, I don't have my things here from school. My poster board and my stiff paper is all back at school. So I just took a box apart. I cut it, and I actually had the lines. It was perfect. I just cut my box out on the lines, and then I cut a middle, and then I dumped, or I put glue on it. And again, you might want to help your child, but you want your child to do this part. You want them to be able to use a glue bottle. You want them to be able to squeeze and have control. And then they can take the macaroni, they can take the pasta that you made. Ooh, the spaghetti is really neat to use. You can have them take that spaghetti and follow a shape that you made with the glue. Maybe they want to do spiral or swirly shapes. I went like this earlier, oops, and it's okay, anything goes. And press it and hold it down in there. Their fingers are going to get messy, they're going to get gluey, but that's okay, you want them to. And that's how I made my frame. I just kept putting different pieces of macaroni, different pieces of pasta all around the edge. And now I could take a picture that I have and put it and tape it behind and tape this to my refrigerator or wall or give it away as a gift. And that's pretty cute. Another thing that you can do with your macaroni, this is like a rite of passage, is string it. Everybody wants a macaroni necklace. And again, that's what a lot of times we do that in school. I didn't have yarn. And it took me quite a few minutes at home to think, what can I string? I was looking for an old shoelace, a piece of yarn, but I don't have any. And all my yarn is at school. So I went outside into the garage and I found my boys' tackle box and I have a piece of fishing line. So you can take, if your macaroni or your noodles have a hole, you can string a necklace. Your child can keep the necklace, they can give it away. You can have them string for fun, and you can have them just play with the macaroni and make pictures, just make any creations, glue it together, string it together, or you can go ahead and do a lesson with it. Talk about symmetry, talk about making a pattern, count it, talk about how many you have on there. You can make it as educational and fun, or just plain old fun as you want. I hope these ideas work for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and give me a call on Remind or email me, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.